Hopefully my video is also visible at the moment, so then I can.
Yes, sir. It is visible, sir.
Beautiful. Okay, maybe I think it's 10:31. We can start, if it's okay for you all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure. So we'll start. Priya?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Never stop learning because life never stops teaching. Good morning to one and all, and a very warm welcome to Digital IGNITRON, organized by the Department of Biomedical Engineering, KPR Institute of Engineering and Technology. Glad to have a wide range of viewers for our initiative. KPR IIT stands out as a leading institute of academic excellence by imparting technical, intellectual, and professional skills to students. The institute is an authorized lifetime member of Biomedical Engineering Society of India with 12 faculty members along with 160 students. The department promotes interdisciplinary cooperation among the scientists and engineers. With the pandemic on prowl, it is impossible to reach outdoors to showcase the thoughts and talents that we have. With lockdown, we do miss our college days. The gang, the gas ships, professors, classrooms, cafeteria, assignments, last minute group studies, exams, culturals, and symposiums. It is hard to recreate those days, those golden days. This time, we have got something new for you. Owing to the past success of Ignitron 2020, in the month of February, we have a digital Ignitron 2020 on 22nd and 23rd of July 2020. United thoughts, united outcome. This is what we believe in. We are going virtual with 30 plus technical and non-technical events organized by 15 professional bodies, interactive webinars with eminent personalities, and technical events that are in monotonous and non-technical events that kindle interest in the minds that are awaking to be explored. I would take this time to thank our patrons, Chairman Dr. K.P. Ramaswamy, Chief Executive Dr. A.M. Natarajan, Principal Dr. M. Akila for their constant support. It is a privilege on behalf of the Department of Biomedical Engineering, KPR Institute of Engineering and Technology, to welcome all the faculties and students from various institutions for the one-day webinar on the art and method of managing your work and industry perspective. Now I request our HOD, Dr. Srilata, to give away the welcome address.
Thank you, Ma. Hi, all. It's great to see you in this platform, being active in Ignitron. I take great pleasure in welcoming Mr. Bhuvanasundar sir, who happily and readily accepted my invitation. And we had a long conversation, like it was a short introduction between us only, but he was so enthusiastic to address students and immediately accepted my invitation. Thanks a lot, sir, for spending your time here, valuable time. Mr. Bhuvana is very fluent in English as well as German speaking. A PMI, PBA, and Six Sigma certified professor. It is a long list. I am just listing a few here. He has a master's degree from Germany, offering a rich and productive experience of 15 plus years in Germany and India, with expertise including engineering management, project management, people management, functional safety, quality, R&D, IT in diverse domains, and lot more to tell. Basically, he is a biomedical engineer, so we are happy to have him here. He is currently the program manager for automotive embedded software customer projects at Bosch, responsible for business strategy, delivery, excellence, and people leadership. Mr. Bhuvana Sundar is also an enthusiastic coach and mentor with experience in training teams as well as professional work ethics across schools, universities, and organizations. He is an expert creator of leaders at the next level, constantly building, reskilling, and empowering self-organizing teams and take the initiative. He is also a member and star volunteer of PMI USA and Associate Vice President of Advocacy and Outreach of its Chennai chapter. There's a lot to be listed. I don't want to miss his valuable speech. So I welcome you, sir, and I'm giving the speech to you.
Definitely.
Thank you, ma'am. So now you can take over the session, and I request all the participants to post your queries at the end of the session. Thank you.
Okay. Beautiful. So I will take over the presentation. Then, so first of all, thank you very much, everyone. Dr. Srilata, thank you. Thanks a lot. Yes, as you rightly said, it was a very brief introduction we had. And for me, also, it's very exciting because biomedical engineering is basically my favorite area. Though my bachelor's degree was in electronics and communication engineering. My final year BE project was in biomedical engineering. I did it at the IIT Madras and Sri Ramachandra Medical College in Chennai. That was completely in biomedical engineering. Strangely, I applied for biomedical engineering master's degree in USA, and I got admitted to a couple of universities, but for various reasons, I chose not to go to USA, but instead to go to Germany for master's in telecommunication. And even there, my internship and master thesis was in biomedical engineering. I worked at Sirona Dental Systems, which was former Siemens Medical, in the area of biomedical engineering, basically digital X-ray imaging for dentistry. So I have worked quite a lot in biomedical engineering in my early years, and in fact, I am really pleasantly surprised that your department head had gone through my LinkedIn profile and gave a pretty big and pretty nice introduction of myself, and that really reflects the sincerity with which you are organizing this. Thank you very much. So in fact, I had also one slide about myself as an intro, but I think that will not be needed anymore because it was a beautiful introduction given by you. Thank you very much, ma'am. And once again, thank you very much for this blessed opportunity, for giving me a chance to share my viewpoints about what project management is, how we can manage our work. So with this, without much ado, I will share my screen, and just a moment, I will see if I can present my screen. How do I do that? Present screen. So for the coordinators, so one quick note is in case in the middle, if my screen goes off, then please also give me a couple of minutes. I will reshare because I'm doing it from my iPad, and sometimes and I will switch my video off because usually yes, video is off, I guess. Okay, that's good. So one quick check to the coordinators. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible and your screen is visible, sir.
Beautiful. So in the middle, don't once in a while I will just suddenly stop and say, hey, am I audible? Don't get surprised, because that is to keep constantly checking whether my network is active and I'm not just speaking with no audience. So just bear with me if I ask you once in a while. Beautiful.
Sure, sir.
So
That is not a problem.
thank you very much, ma'am. Thanks. So one moment, I just will ensure all is set. So again, once again, welcome all. So when I was requested to present a session here in this amazing two-day symposium, I wanted to give a topic on project management, basically, because as madam said, I am a hardcore project manager. I have been a people manager. Till recently, I was managing teams with about 35 to 40 people reporting to me directly and about 75 people indirectly through the account management. And recently, I also took over as a program manager. You'll see what a program is. But then she also told me it would be nice if I could also present the industry perspective, not just give a theory session, but rather give something engaging with the students. So I was thinking, why not actually talk about project management, but from a very high level perspective, and more importantly, have sort of an interactive session with the students and teachers on various tips, tools, and techniques how to manage your work, but how we do it in industry. So this is not going to be a theory session. There will be quite a lot of information for you to absorb. I will try to make it in a very interesting manner, but I also want you to be interactive. So Google Classroom or whatever we are using, Google Meet, it allows you to chat. So my request is, please, whenever I ask you some questions, please interactively chat. Also on the YouTube, I think if you're watching, please comment, and I will request the coordinators to look at these chats on Google Meet as well as YouTube, and let me know if there are some questions so that I may answer them. So you can ask questions throughout, and at the end we will have a Q&A session, and elaborate Q&A session also. So I will try to finish a little early. So my intention of having this topic is a very interesting thing. I believe all of you are engineers, right? You are in an engineering institute, either as in the teaching faculty or as students, as administrators. So thing is, if you are here, then you are basically engineers. What do you do to become an engineer? You studied engineering, right? BE, BTech, or you are studying. You want to become a doctor. What do? You study medicine. So in 11th and 12th standard, you take biology, or you take mathematics, physics, chemistry, and then you become an engineer, or you go to a medical college. Like that for many fields, commerce, you take commerce subjects, and you do BCom, then CA, and all these things, professional. I'm talking only about professional courses. But the one profession that manages work in all these things and leads the most important thing of all, which is people, that's project management. So what is project management? Basically, project managers manage projects. They don't manage people. Let me be very clear. We do not manage people. People are not someone to be managed. People have to be led. We have to lead people, but we manage work. Where do you learn this? I have seen from pre-KG, LKG, UKG, first standard, all the way up to 12th standard, and even in BTech, BE degree programs, nowhere you see the word project management. You see the word project. Even my son, Sashank, who is in 3rd standard or 4th standard, he always does quite a lot of projects. He often comes and tells me and my wife, hey, mommy, daddy, I've been given a project. So project is the word that small kids also use nowadays. And of course, in big projects, you will see later some examples of big projects. Everywhere, everyone uses the word project, but no one seems to really realize what is the meaning of a project and how to manage. Forget managing project. People even think that projects are something to be managed, because you get a project, you are doing a BE degree project, for example, many of you, or you have done. You have got a topic, you would have started, for example, with some topic. You would have got all the discussions with your guide, your professors, and you have just started, and then you do something, and sometimes you say, I want extra time to do. Maybe you are spending some money, you ask your parents or you ask your department to fund or sponsor your projects, research, whatever it is, and that's it. And you present it, and then you make beautiful reports, binders, and one moment. I think I lost my other connection. Just a minute. Okay. So basically, can you just give me a moment, ma'am? I just lost my Google Meet connection from my other device. I hope I'm still audible on this device. Hello?
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Yes, because I was connected from my second device and I lost connection there. No issues. So basically, we all have been doing quite a lot of projects, but we never realized, first of all, what is the meaning of a project, and the very fact that we have to actually manage projects. And if you have to manage projects, how to do it. So this is something that's not taught in schools or colleges, universities, anywhere. Of course, if you go to MBA, sometimes when you are doing your MBA, you learn a little bit of project management, but that's also mostly operations management. You learn how to manage operations, but you very rarely learn how to manage projects. So in this session, what I thought was, let me talk about what a project really is. How do you manage projects? In fact, more importantly, how the industry manages projects. Because I have been in industry for more than 15 years, more than 16 years after my master's. And I do manage projects on a daily basis. I lead people. And what may really be useful to you all. And believe me, this session is not only for current students, it's also for past students, and even more importantly to the faculty, because faculty teaching is it's the noblest profession on earth, and teachers are the best project managers because they get almost no credit ever for the hard work they do behind the scenes. Teaching and project management are similar. Of course, teaching is much, much bigger and better than project management, but teachers and project managers are similar in some ways. The work we do as teachers or project managers is something real. The hard and dirty, hard work that we do in the back end, nobody knows. All the tough work. See, teachers come to the fore only when there is a class, there is a session, 1.5 hours, 1 hour session, 45-minute session. But imagine for that 45-minute session, how much work goes on. I'm very sure you will all agree with me. For doing a 45-minute session, teachers would be spending at least 2 to 3 days minimum of presentation. And it's all cumulative. You can't just go to a session preparing only for that session. You have to prepare, take information from the past sessions. You have to prepare for the future. It's a holistic thing. And most of this is not accounted for. And project management is something similar. Most of the work we do as project managers is cold, hard logic and science, and it's also an art in the back end, the back scenes. Nobody knows. We get our hands dirty and do quite a lot of things. But what people see is just the results, and it looks like magic. I train lots of project management professionals, even people with more than 10-15 years experience also, as part of the project management professional PMP certification. I'm a trainer for various institutes of the Project Management Institute for various chapters. There also I keep telling them repeatedly that project management is not magic. When you do project management, the results, when people see it, it looks like magic because they don't see what is going on in the back end. So when everything appears out of nowhere, it's like magic, just like you teachers do. But it's anything but magic. In the back end, it's real hard work, and you never get credit. It's like a cricket umpire. I think all of you follow cricket. And in cricket, there are 2 umpires on the field, right? What is their job? The great job that they do, it's never visible. The first mistake they do, everyone sees. See, amazing in a match, amazing decisions. They make 100 decisions. No one even talks about it. One LBW decision given wrongly, one small wrong decision they make, everyone pounces on them. This is the job of a project manager as well as a teacher. So what is this project management? Are you not curious now? He is talking so much about cricket, about teaching, about project management, managing work, leading people. So it's an art. So I want to tell you what is exactly project management, what is the art behind it, the science behind it, and also tell you some things about the methods that we in the industry use, many of which you are already doing today without even realizing. As students, as teachers, as faculty, as administrators, you're all doing this subconsciously or even unconsciously without even realizing that you are already doing it. So I'm not going to tell you anything new. I'm going to tell you what you already have been doing in your everyday life and trying to connect that with how the industry really does, so that you will realize 2 things. One, after all, I have been doing something right. I never realized that I am doing project management. And second thing, to tell you some perspectives, I will share with you some resources that you can straight away use as educators and as students, so that you are basically, aware of how to manage your work going forward. So, one moment. Hi. Okay, in my secondary device, I was getting repeatedly logged out. So, let's go. Next slide, show mode from start. So, Srilata ma'am just spoke quite a lot elaborately on me. So, I will not repeat whatever was already discussed. So, main thing is on personal side, I have a bachelor's degree from VIT, that was formerly VEC. That was long back, about 20 years back. I finished my bachelor's in engineering, have a master's degree from Germany. And on the personal side, I have an 8-year-old son. I'm married and I have an 8-year-old son. And I love reading, writing, cooking, and learning cultures and languages. I also maintain a YouTube channel. At the end of this session, you can also go, it's at the bottom right, you can see 2 channels. But the first channel, VR_Vritta, will be more useful to you, because that channel I started as a mission. So my mission, basically, on top of my work I do as a program manager at Bosch, that's my main job, my day job, and also my additional role as Associate Vice President for Outreach at PMI, Project Management Institute Chennai Chapter. I also do quite a lot of trainings for academia. So my mission is to make India professional. What do you mean by making India professional? Means we Indians are really great in quite a lot of things. We are smart. We are highly educated. Compared to the rest of the world, we are amazing. One small thing that is missing is the professionalism. I have worked abroad for many years. I have also worked in India. I know the difference between the work cultures, what is good here, what is not good here, and everything. And one thing I have seen, though 99 out of 100 things we Indians are good at, one thing we are having lots of areas to improve is being professional. How to manage your work, how to communicate, how to be punctual, how to commit, and how to communicate all this. So if we can improve in this small one part, we will be world beaters again. So my mission is to make project management accessible. See, my core area is project management. So I wanted to make project management accessible. The complex concepts of project management, I wanted to demystify and make it accessible and understandable to everyone, to students, to teachers, both school and college, and children and their parents, most importantly. Because through my channel, I wanted to speak various topics. I would take, it's a new channel. There are not more than 3 or 4 videos there, but I'm going to build it. You can like the videos, subscribe to the channel, and you can share, comment on it, share with everyone. On this channel, I'll be sharing multiple complex concepts of project management, including what I'm going to talk about now, so that all of you understand that life is easy actually when it comes to managing projects. You don't have to panic. Project management is not for people with coat and suit. Project management is not for big shots. Project management is for everyone. There will be some terms and terminologies that will be different. I will demystify these concepts in the current session now, as well as on this YouTube channel you can visit. So there you will learn how to manage your work more professionally. So question is, why project management? We spoke so much about what is project management and everything. So this is what we are going to see in this session. Let me give you a very simple example. Ma'am, I'm still audible and my presentation is visible, right, ma'am? Yeah, hello?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Beautiful.
And your presentation is also visible.
Cool. Yeah. So let me give you an example. Imagine they take up, one of these metro rail projects, or this, in Coimbatore, also in Gandhipuram, the flyover they're building for nearly 100 years, right? So imagine one such project.
Sir, you're visible and also audible, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah. So take a project. Now, imagine there are 2 routes planned. They said this is a 5-year project. 10,000 crore rupees is sanctioned for this project. Now I will ask you some questions. You can type the answers in the chat box on YouTube or in the Google Meet. Both the 2 routes are completed, but instead of 5 years, they take 10 years to finish this project. But they finish it in 10,000 crore. They don't have any budget overrun. This is one scenario. Another scenario is you have 2 routes completed, but they finish it within 5 years. 1 minute. They finish it within 5 years, but they consume 20,000 crore rupees instead of the 10,000 crore rupee planned. Now the question is, the third scenario, they finish both the routes. They take 5 years and 2 months, just 2 more months additionally to finish the project. And instead of 10,000 crore rupees, they take 11,000 crores. So now, which of these 3 scenarios is really good? They take 10 years but finish within budget. They take 5 years but take 20,000 crores. Or the third scenario, where they take only 2 months more and only 1,000 crore rupee more. Naturally, the third scenario is really good, because in life as well as in industry, we never get things done as per plan. So there will be some small things here and there you will change. Sometimes you'll spend more, you'll take more time. It's all okay, because even planning, right, it's not a perfect science. That's what project management is, not magic. So on day 1, you'll have very less information, and as you proceed, you'll get more information. You cannot simply sit at home saying, I don't have all the information, I don't start the project. You will start with whatever you have, and as you do the project, more information becomes available, and with that you will fine-tune your plan and then you will finish somewhere closer to the plan. That's life. So this is why project management is needed, to ensure that you deliver your task on time, within budget, and with the right quality. Now, usually if the project is success, it means 15% plus or minus scope, time and cost. Scope means everything that you have to do within the project. Time means the schedule. Within this time I have to finish the project. Cost means how much you have to spend. Whatever I'm talking of is the industry perspective. You will see this is from PMBOK, Project Management Body of Knowledge. That's the golden standard for project management worldwide, and that is maintained by PMI, Project Management Institute. So the PMI has this golden standard for project management, PMBOK, and that is the industry standard. This is what I'm going to use to explain to you the concepts of how to manage your work. And imagine one question: out of 100 projects that you plan, how many do you think usually are successful? It's a very interesting thing. You can type your views in the chat box. How much percentage of projects do you think are usually successful? The answer will be surprising. Only 33%. Go for campus interviews. Do I go for IIMs? What exactly? Do I write GATE? Do I write GMAT? Do I write CAT? What do you do? And you're planning for retirement. All these things are projects. At professional level, how do you upgrade your skills? You do it regularly as teachers, as students. How do you get certified? How to start a company? Your internal project that you do for BE or master's degree. Everything. These are all projects. So basically, what is basically a project? So you will see here now. PMI, as I told you, was started in 1969 in USA. There are about 500,000 members currently. PMP, Project Management Professional Certification, is the gold standard in project management, and it's based on PMBOK, Project Management Body of Knowledge. And these are some statistics. India also has multiple chapters. There's PMI India, and in India there are 8 chapters in Chennai, Kerala, Trivandrum, then Bangalore, Hyderabad, and then we also have Mumbai, North India, and Pune, Deccan chapter. Then we have West Bengal chapter and newly Gujarat chapter. There are about 9 chapters, and I am part of the at least 3 chapters: Chennai, Kerala, and West Bengal chapters. I'm also the member of the extended board, AVP for outreach. So, what is PMI? What it does? Because as industry, we are very closely connected with what PMI does. PMI owns the golden standard called Project Management Body of Knowledge. This is how it grew. It was introduced in 1996. See, PMI came into existence in 1969, but it took 27 years for them till 1996 to come up with the first version of the PMBOK. PMBOK is basically a collection of all the best practices. It is not straight away usable if you want to use in a project. You have to tailor it. It is a collection of best practices. A big body of professionals, project management professionals from the industry, they have reviewed and studied thousands of projects. They have taken practices that worked and made the project successful. They also took some other practices that failed. So it's a collection of all the best practices which were successful, which were not successful, and then they made it as one framework. They called it as a project management body of knowledge. What we do in the industry is we take this PMBOK as a guide, as a reference. We tailor it based on our industry, on our domain, like automobile engineering, telecommunication engineering, whatever. Based on our organization, all the requirements, we tailor it. So the latest version is PMBOK 6 we have, and next year PMBOK 7 is going to come. And PMBOK 6 has, say, for example, standard project management and Agile. I will not go into what Agile is for the moment. So if you see, in addition to PMBOK, there are lots of practice guides on risk management, schedule management, competency development, quite a lot of standards it has, portfolio management and everything. So these are all industry standards. So now let us see what is a project. Very simple. A project is anything that has a purpose or an objective. Man, quick check, I'm still on, right? Me and my presentation, we are still there, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks. So what is a project? So anything that has a purpose, it should have an objective. It is temporary in nature. It should not be running forever. That will be an operation. You come to work every day. That's an operation. You regularly punch in, swipe in. That's an operation. But you take up a project. Imagine you want to learn something new, or you are taking up a new subject and you want to learn everything first time. That is a project. You want to do your BE degree project, that's a project. You want to come to, how to say, you are doing some standard, say, for example, attendance or all these things, they are operations. So a project should not be repetitive. It should be temporary. That means it should have a start date and an end date, and it should produce a unique outcome. The outcome could be a product, it could be a service, or it could be a result. But it should produce a unique outcome. Every time you do this, it's a unique thing, which means no two projects are similar. It may be no two projects are the same. They could be similar. Imagine you are doing early warning system for tsunami. Somebody else does another similar system. They may look similar, but they are not the same because every project has something different. Imagine the budget may be different. The schedule, the time period within which you have to finish may be different. The circumstances may be different. The set of people working, the resources we call it, that may be different. The constraints may be different. What is the constraint? And the limits within which you have to work, they will be different. You are working in KPRIET. That's not the same as working in some other college or university, because the people are different, the policies are different, the funding requirements are different, everything is unique. So it is a project, a program. So sometimes many projects have common outcomes, they use common resources, they also have common benefits. So you don't have to repeat what you do in one project in another project. You can also use the benefits of one project into another, and the work done for multiple projects you can do together and derive the benefits commonly. So we combine these projects into one program. So that's called a program. They're all dependent on each other. You cannot do them individually. There has to be lots of coordination. Example, imagine you are doing, say for example, launching this Mangalyaan, the mission to Mars. There was a launch program. There was the rocket body making. There was, for example, coordination of the launch. Then there was mechanical part. Then there was electrical circuitry. Then there was software programming. Then there was, how to say, all the maintenance. All these things are their own projects, but together they got combined into one common program called the Mangalyaan program, which successfully launched India's mission to Mars. So this is an example of a program. Portfolio, usually in industry, right? We have, every industry says, you know what, I work for Bosch, and Bosch has multiple portfolios. I am a program manager for automotive steering, electrical power steering. And now Bosch, say for example, says, to grow my business, I want to enter into a new area. Today, my portfolio is automobile engineering. Tomorrow, I want to enter into mobile development. That's another portfolio. It's a new area of business for me. So now if it's automobile engineering, that's a portfolio of business for me. What are the different programs? I have an electrical power steering program. I have a chassis control, means braking system program. I have basically a sensor program. I have a, for example, a multimedia, car multimedia program. And within this automotive steering, I have different projects. I have a project to create a new feature. I have a project to build a new mechanical system. I have a project to upgrade my electronic platform. These are different projects combined into one program called automotive steering or electrical steering, and along with other portfolios. So this is one complete, how to say, automotive steering program comes under the steering portfolio. Like this, you have different portfolios. So or the programs that come under the portfolio of automobile engineering. And like that, an organization can have different portfolios, and within one portfolio, you can have programs, projects that are not connected to any program. You can have operations. You can have anything. They may be related. They may not be related. So this is what a portfolio is. Operations, like I said, coming to work every day, coming to university every day, swiping in, swiping out, and you are producing, you are creating reports for your department. You are preparing some regularly. You are preparing some updates. These are all operations. It's ongoing, repetitive. They are used. They are needed to sustain business, and they are all talking about running the current business. That's it. So what you learn in MBAs usually are also, it's not project management, it's operations management. So now you have to know how different organizations work. So in universities, when you are in college or school, you don't realize how organizations work. How different organizations are, it also depends, it has a very high impact on how projects are managed. Imagine in KPRIT, you are organized as departments, biomedical engineering department. For example, this department. You have maybe electronics engineering department or ECE maybe. Then you have mechanical engineering, civil engineering. And now Imagine how the decision is made. Anything to do with biomedical engineering, the decision is made at the top of the biomedical engineering department. The HOD makes, right? You don't go to the HOD of civil engineering to make a decision on biomedical engineering. But imagine there is a new project that uses sensor, a wearable belt to determine and communicate about heart attacks. Imagine this belt, though it is a biomedical engineering project, the concepts are biomedical, but it has a rubber belt and sensors and everything which is electrical or electronics engineering. It has to undergo all the stress tests which is civil engineering. This is why I worked in IIT Madras in the civil engineering department and also at Ramchandra Medical College. So there are various departments involved. How do you make decisions? Imagine you are a biomedical engineering department student doing this project, but then you need to use the civil engineering, the strength of materials laboratory, and they are not giving you time. To whom will you go and ask support from? You will go to your HOD, but your HOD does not own the structural engineering lab. The civil engineering HOD owns that lab. How will you work? Then your HOD has to work very closely and harmoniously with the civil engineering HOD, right? Or with the mechanical engineering HOD. So sometimes in organizations, you cannot do a project simply by yourself. You have to learn some politics, good politics. I'm not talking about bad politics, good politics. Remember, students, politics is a very important part of work, of industry. There is good politics, there is bad politics. You must steer clear of bad politics. But you should never say, I don't like politics, I don't want to do politics, so I will never learn. No. There is one beautiful saying. In an industry, in the office, either you play the game or you become the game. There is no avoiding politics. So sometimes you have to know diplomacy, soft skills, negotiation skills, persuasion skills, communication skills, all this, how to work and get your work done. If you don't do this, you will not get your work done. That is what a project manager is. That is the art of managing your work. It is an art. Not everything can be taught in a classroom, in a webinar, in a training. Some things you have to learn by experience. Nobody can teach you how to write an email. You can read on Google lots of tips. At the end of the day, whether you use a capital letter or a small letter, use bold letters, use capital, punctuations, it's all left to you. Imagine you write a very poorly worded email. The purpose is lost. The other person does not even know what you want, and he or she will not be able to help you. Your work is not done. So these are soft skills. And so in an organization, soft skills are very important for a project manager. So you can learn the processes. The definition of the role of a project manager is, a project manager is a person who applies the knowledge of project management practices. He applies the tools and techniques that he learned from certifications and standards like PMBOK and PMP, and then uses his common sense, soft skills, and works within constraints, within restrictions, and then delivers and then keeps everyone communicated. That is the role of a project manager. So a project management, see, if you get everything that you ask for, we don't need project managers. There will be no profession of project management. You don't need a head of department. You don't need a dean. You don't need a chairman. You don't need anything. You ask, you get it. Do you get everything you ask for? You don't. That is called resources. Resources are the most unavailable thing on earth. They are the most scarcely available thing on earth. You ask for 100 rupees, you get 95 rupees. You ask for 5 people, you get 3 people. You ask for 3 months time to do your project, you get 2 months. Everything will be nice, you get 2 years to do your BE degree project. Do you have 2 years to do your BE degree project? You don't. You have maximum 6 months. Maybe you can start it in your 3rd semester, early in your 3rd semester, you get some time. But you don't get more time than that. So resources, financial resources, time resources, people resources, everything is limited. So you have to know how to work within these limitations or constraints. And one of the biggest constraints is the type of organization. So you can have different kinds of organization. You can have, as you will see, we use different terms in the industry. It could be a very simple organization that grows organically. That means it started with just 3 people, and tomorrow 10 more people get added. And then they split into 3 teams, each team with a team leader. And then one of them acts as a department head, or as a team leader, or a common leader. And then it becomes 100 people, you form a department, and then you have different faculties, you have different things, for example, different teams, and then it grows into 1,000 people, you have a dean who handles different departments, or for example, all this. Or so it grows organically. It could be a simple organization, sometimes it could be, how to say, flexible. Each one plays multiple roles. That nobody says, I am the department head, so you cannot quit. No, it's all very flexible. It can be flexible. Sometimes it can be virtual also, not a real organization. Each one based on need takes up a role, and then there is no one solid organization. Or it could be a mixture, a hybrid. There could be a project management office which supplies project managers in an organization, which supplies the tools and technologies, it supplies the templates, so that the project managers come from this PMO and handle multiple projects. It could be multi-divisional. And you will have to repeat, for example, biomedical engineering department does managing the salaries, managing the people working, managing the labs, everything for biomedical. Same things will be repeated by civil engineering for the department, for mechanical engineering by the department. It could be a functional organization. A functional organization means people are organized into the functions: electronics, mechanical, administration, finance, HR, like that. And each of them has a functional manager. But the advantage is knowledge is very localized, work gets done fast within, but then coordination is very difficult. So there is delay whenever you have multi-department coordination where it is needed. Then there is also projectized organization. Sometimes you don't have one functional organization, you have different project teams. For example, you have one project team handling steering projects, automotive steering, one project team handling multimedia, one project team handling braking projects, and each of them has a project manager. And here, all the work needed to be done for one project is within one team. So you don't have to ever go outside to another team to ask for support. This is good. But the disadvantage is, once the project is over, people do not have a home to go to. They have to be reassigned to another project. And you have heard in big organizations something called bench. When you don't have a project, you don't have a home. You have to be benched. So that is one disadvantage. Then there is something called a matrix organization, which means a mixture. It could be a strong matrix, weak matrix, or a balanced matrix, which means there's a mixture of functional organization and project-based organization. So there are functional teams, but there is also a project manager who is assigned people from these functional teams. He or she does not have full control over the resources. The resources report to functional managers, but they work on the project, which is handled by the project manager. Here is where soft skills are very important. Project management is also about getting work done from people who don't report to you. So you cannot order them about, you cannot command them, you cannot demand anything from them. So you have to have soft skills to get the work done. This is a part and parcel of life. You don't learn this as students in colleges. You learn it from your experience. Some of us are good at it, some of us have to learn. So if you see, in a matrix organization, depending on what kind of matrix, if it's a weak matrix, power is with the functional managers. If it's a strong matrix, power is with the project manager. So there are different, there could be more type of organizations based on how the company is structured. But if you see the power levels from functional organization on the right to project-based organization on the left, you will see where the power is. Example, in a functional organization, the FM, the functional manager, has 100% power. The PM, though he exists, has only 0% power. And slowly you move towards matrix organization into projectized. There are no more functional teams. The project manager holds 100% of the power. So now, PMO is something I told you. It manages all the project managers, provides all the guidelines and everything. So now, we will get into PMBOK. You have any questions, you can type in the chat box. And my request to the coordinators is, please accumulate all these questions we will have in the question and answer session. I'm seeing the time, it's 11:20. So maximum by 11:40, I will try to close the topic so that we can have a solid 20 minutes for question and answers. And am I still audible, folks? I'm still audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Thank you, ma'am. So, we will now get into very quickly about how the PMBOK, the industrial global standard, the golden standard for project management, how it looks at project management. You saw now what a project is. You saw the environment in which projects operate, how organizations are structured. What is the role of a project manager? What is the power level of a project manager? What are the hard skills that are needed? What are the soft skills that are needed? I gave you some tips about what soft skills you have to learn. Now, what is the hard skill? Hard skill is, of course, number one is your domain skill. You are an electrical engineer or electronics or biomedical engineer. You have to learn your domain. Believe me, you may be a doctor, engineer, biomedical engineer, chemical engineer. You may be an accountant, but you're not going to remain like that for your entire life. After some years, you become good in your area, you become a manager. Project management is usually, in most countries other than India, it is by choice. In India, it is by chance. What they do, hey, you are very good in your area, let me make you a manager. You are very good in in your technical area, so let me make you a manager. This is what you call as the halo effect. HALO. You know what a halo? You know, in the pictures of gods and goddesses, you would have seen behind the head there is a white light. That's called the halo. So a halo effect, the halo effect means promoting someone into a management position because he or she is technically very good. There's a problem with this. Most times people are not prepared to become project managers because they're not learned the basic tools, techniques, processes, hard skills, and the soft skills to be a project manager. They are very good in technical, and so what happens? They fail as project managers. And what else happens? You also lose the person technically. So a very good technical resource, technical expert, you lose him or her because he is no more a technical expert. He or she is a project manager, and they also are not good at project management because they are not prepared. So this we have to be very careful about. So let us see what these hard skills of project management is. So PMBOK is simply based on processes. There are 49 processes currently. It keeps changing between editions. The 6th edition of PMBOK talks of 49 processes. How are they grouped? Under 5 process groups and 10 knowledge areas. A process group is the phase of the project life cycle. As you start, you execute, you close. Knowledge area is what area of the project you are working in. Are you defining the scope? Scope means boundary. I will do this within my project. I will not do this. Then there is time, schedule management. This is the time period within which I will do. Then there is cost management, the most important, my budget. Then there is risk management. What can go wrong? Then there is resource management. How will I acquire my project team? How will I build the competency? Quality management. These are examples of knowledge areas. And the process groups, as you start a project, the life cycle, you always start with initiating. And in initiating phase, you set up the project. You authorize the project manager. Hey, you are the project manager. You will do this project. We create something called a project charter. I will run through this very quickly because of time. But I'm just giving you a glimpse of how industry does project management, how any company, any organization or industry does project management. So in initiating, you set up the project, you write something called a project charter. A project charter is the authorization document where you list the high-level objectives of the project. You define the benefits of the project, why you are doing the project. You also give the high-level scope, timelines, cost, budget of the project based on initial information. You name the project manager, and then you say, these are the things required in this project, and this is how it should be done. In initiating, you identify all the stakeholders. A stakeholder is anyone who is impacted by the project and who can impact the project. So all these things, identifying them, you do in the initiating phase. Then in the planning phase, you build the plan. What plan do you build? You build all the plans. How you will collect requirements from the customer. How you will document and manage the requirements as they change during the entire project life cycle. How you plan the schedule, how you make the schedule, how you will control the schedule and keep your project on schedule, how you will plan the budget, how you will ask for budget, how you will control your costs. These are things, and how you will control your quality, how you will manage your risks. All these plans are done as part of your planning phase. You build what you call as a project management plan. There is not one document called project management plan. It's a collection of various plans: risk management plan, communication management plan, schedule management plan, cost management plan. Together it's called a project management plan. You build in the planning phase. Then comes executing. Executing is where most of us are aware of. As you join as a fresher tomorrow, right, you're going to join a company. When you start your work in a company or in an academia, some of you may choose to enter academia. In the early days, you will be joining directly in the executing phase. you will not be part of the initiating or planning activities. But as time goes by, you will slowly be involved by your managers in planning, and then you will start doing the planning yourself as you become a manager yourself. Executing is where actually the work of the project goes on. And is it enough you do the execution, implementing with the work? No. You have to keep an eye on it, right? Managing and controlling, monitoring and controlling. So you will, as at the same time as you are executing the project, you will also look at monitoring and controlling. What will you monitor? You will look at the plan you made in the planning phase. You will look at the actual work products, the actual work that's going on. You will compare. So is my actual delivery according to the plan, in line with the plan? If it's yes, good. Can I improve on it? Can I make it better? Or if it is not according to what I planned, what is the problem? Should I update the plan? Because I told you on day one, you don't have all information. So you cannot sit at home simply saying, let me get all information, then only I will start the project. So you will start with what information you have. As you do the project, you get more and more information, and then you make your plan better. So you will see whether you update your plan or you are not executing your plan properly. So you will update your execution or you will update your plan. This is monitoring and controlling. And finally comes closing. I told you a project means it must have a definite closure and end date. It cannot go on forever. If you want to do maintenance of a project, a software that you develop, it's a different project altogether. It has its own initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, closing, monitoring, controlling, and closing. So it's a temporary endeavor, a project. So it has to be closed. Now, what are the knowledge areas? I told you. So these are the 10 knowledge areas that you're seeing on the screen. I hope my screen, another quick check. Is my screen audible? The 10 knowledge areas slide, is it the one that is being displayed, ma'am?
Yes, sir, it's audible.
Yes.
And it's visible.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. So, so always, so 10 knowledge areas, any project has 10 different areas where you work. One, what everyone see, when you talk of a project manager, the world thinks of project managers doing only one thing, which is time management. Always you may see. Thank you, ma'am. So imagine when you say project manager, what comes to your mind? Someone with a coat and suit sitting in a corner office, bush, 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 all English, great, high level language, and they order people about. This is what you think about, right? Unfortunately, it's wrong. I told you, actually. A project manager's job is usually invisible. When the outputs come, it appears like magic. But the work is not magic. It's very hard and dirty work we have to do behind the screen. So now, what is that work we do? These are the 10 areas that we do as project managers. So after today's session, I want each and every one of you to walk out with a more clear idea about what project management means. Project management is not for project managers alone. It's for everyone. I told you, organizing your birthday party is a project. Buying a mobile phone is a project. Your phone, you want to upgrade. So how much you'd say? You have preferences. I want this brand. This is my budget. Within this time, I need to make a decision and buy the phone. I want a big memory space. I want amazing camera. I want these features, right? So that is a project. So let us see how you build. For example, first, beginning of any work is defining what you want to do. That is scope. But can you just say what you want to do without talking to all the people? Imagine you are starting your project, BE degree project. What do you do first? Do you straight away take a pen and paper and write, this is what I'm going to do? You don't. What you do? You talk to people. Who are the people? Stakeholders. A stakeholder, I told you, anyone who can impact your project positively or negatively, and who is impacted by the project. Who is the first stakeholder you talk to? Your professor, your guide, potential guide. You don't even know which professor can guide you. So you talk to 3 or 4 professors in biomedical engineering department. And then you identify one professor based on the suitability of the topic. And with that professor also, you discuss multiple topics and shortlist one topic. You talk to your friends because you are going to do with 2 or 3 other people. You have some preferences. You don't want to take only someone who is very good in technical. You also want to take someone with whom you can happily work. You can do some give and take. So stakeholders are also your classmates with whom you do the project. So first thing you do in any project is identifying the stakeholders, the people who you should talk to at the beginning to know what you have to do, how you have to do, why you have to do everything. That is stakeholder management. It's called project stakeholder management. Then comes project scope management, where you define what you want to do. Then time management, what are my timelines and how I will manage my project within schedule. Then comes cost management. Cost management means how budget, quality, risk. Risk is an uncertainty. Anything that can go wrong is a risk. I'm doing a project now, Corona time. You cannot even easily go out to the industries. You have to sit at home and do your project. You cannot do your project after Corona is over. Your academic year is gone. So that's a risk. Last year and all, you could go to industries, you can roam around, you can buy things, you can do your project. This year you can't, right? That is uncertainty, risk. HR, human resources. In industries, we have to have people. People work in our teams. We need to have human resources. We have to have physical resources. Then communication. Communication management means, in my project, who talks to whom, about what topic, at what frequencies or intervals, in what format, email, written reports, telephone, email or bulletin boards, how frequently, how do they format their presentation. All these things come in communication. Procurement means using an external vendor. Imagine for your project you want to buy some sensors. You will go to your lab, they have, or you will go to an electronic shop and buy, right? Will you bother about making the sensor yourself or circuit board yourself? You give it to a company that makes a PCB. Your project is to conceptualize the topic and do everything in the back end. If you start thinking about how do I solder, how do I do my PCB, how do I fit it and everything, your time is gone. So you will outsource it to someone. That is called procurement. You will buy it from someone else, ready-made product. That is called procurement management. Integration means all the previous 9 things that you saw, you combine into one. See, 3 of you are working in the project. You assign the work, go and buy this PCB from this person. And another person, you order another PCB. So 3 of your team members suddenly meet. And you find the PCB bought by one person will come only 4 weeks later. And the PCB, the second person is getting, will come in 1 week. But your work has start in 3rd week. What will you do? You did not integrate these plans, right? So this is called integrating. Putting all these 9 areas together as one major plan and seeing if everything is in synchronization with everything else. This is called integration. This is very important. Otherwise, each person will be working in one different direction. Your scope will be different. Your cost will be different. Risk you will completely miss. And your vendor is closed because of Corona. You have to find a different vendor. You will not even know it because you did not tell your team members to go and look for it. They did not look at it. Communication was not there. So integration is bringing all these other 9 areas into one beautiful synchronized plan. So this is basically the 10 knowledge areas. I will not go into too much detail about this. There are different ways how you can, there are different processes. Each, see, number of processes, 4 processes in cost, 3 in quality, 6 in resource, like this. So this is how we go into detail in PMBOK. It talks how each of these, how do you define the skill set needed for your team members? How do you plan competence development? How do you acquire people for your team? Do you go for recruitment? You take from other teams? How do you build the competencies of the team? Everything is done in resource management. Like that, how you identify risks? How do you plan for responding to the risk? How do you respond? How do you control the risks? Everything is there. So these are the different things in knowledge areas. This is PMBOK. Now, the last segment, the next maximum 10 minutes, we will look at some things, what resources you students have to become future project managers. The last 10 minutes now I will spend only on this. Certifications. I talked to you about PMP, Project Management Professional Examination. That is for professionals. You should already have some experience, many years of experience as a project manager. What can you as a student or you as a fresher with some experience but not project management experience, what can you do? You have CAPM, Certified Associate in Project Management. This is a certification for freshers and people with less experience in project management. You can do it. The background is PMBOK only, same as PMP, but it will be more theoretical knowledge to test you whether you know the standard of project management like PMI says. That's all. PMP talks of real life situation. CAPM talks of the standard. So this is one thing you can do. And usually from PMI chapters, we also give training on this. So I would separately have a discussion with the department, with the university, how to go about this. But CAPM is one thing you can do. And PMP is the examination I told you about, as you get more experience in your career. Now, quickly about Chennai chapter. Chennai chapter is one unit of Project Management Institute at various countries and cities, in various countries and at various cities. As I told you, India has about 9 chapters now. Chennai chapter covers Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry. So Coimbatore means Chennai chapter covers. So these are some basic statistics. It was founded in 2002 and it's a non-profit organization. There are about 1,600 plus members. What do? We do main things we do. We do advocacy. We spread the message of project management. We give guidance to professional organizations, academia, universities, schools, colleges, and non-governmental organizations. We do CSR, corporate social responsibility activities. See, we are a non-profit organization. Some of the trainings that we do, we charge, but mostly the consultation, everything is free of cost. Exactly like what I am doing now. We conduct quite a lot of sessions on project management. We do consultancy for people freely so that we make sure people are aware of how to manage their work. So some of the things we have done in the past, so we are associated with multiple companies. You can see here with L&T, TVH, Bosch, Flex, MSMEs and everything. And we hosted 2 national conferences already in the past. So now, for students and educators, for you as a university, KPRIET, as Biomedical Engineering Department, as students, teachers, administrators, educators, how it is interesting. We have something called PMI Education Foundation. PMI Education Foundation means it is the CSR, Corporate Social Responsibility Wing of PMI. What does PMIEF do? You can all visit this. I will share these links with your coordinators, with your faculty. You can visit them. I will also put it on the YouTube as a comment, and for this YouTube video that is being recorded, I will also share it on my YouTube channel. So these things, you can visit this. It has lots of free resources. All you need is, in the past, all you needed was an academic email ID at the rate of KPRIET or at the rate of bme.kpriet or whatever. Now, I think even without that, with a normal email address, you can register for students, teachers, young project managers, everyone. Lots of free resources are there. Example, there is a project management for beginners course online. Career Central for your future career as project managers and as in the industry experts. Tower game. I think most of you can go to Google and you can find it. You know the tower game, Jenga sticks, they call it JENGA. You build a tower with the Jenga sticks. The aim is you should make sure you can, by removing one wood piece at a time, you will build the tower higher without making it fall. So based on this tower game, they teach you project management. So all these things are freely available. You can teach your children. See, as part of my mission to make India professional, through the channel I told you about, we are Vrita, I am creating quite a lot of videos for children to teach them complex project management concepts in simple manner. So PMIEF has quite a lot of such similar resources. So its vision is inspiring the youth to achieve their goals, making dreams a reality. And mission to enable youth to realize their potential and transform lives through project management. This is what we are trying to do. Some examples. PMIEF works with youth. It works with non-profit organizations, works with volunteers. And we provide trainings. We provide consultancy, guidance. Imagine a non-profit organization does not get profit, but it should not make a loss. They should manage their timelines and costs, everything properly, so that the money they get as donation is used properly. So that is the benefit they get. So we train them, educate them in good project management practices so that they can do this. So some of the initiatives we are already doing is Project Putri. You can Google it. This is a project done by Avatar Foundation. So for girl children. So I am also one of the mentors and volunteers along with other people from Project Management Institute Chennai Chapter. We teach project management as a life skill for girl students across schools in Tamil Nadu, mostly government schools in Tamil Nadu. So we teach various project management concepts as life skill. Even last month, I took quite a few sessions on this. Then Gunj is an organization we are associated with for cloths collection and everything. These are some voluntary activities we do. And also we wrote the book, a project management book in Tamil language for children. I was a co-author. People from PMI Chennai Chapter, we wrote this book. I contributed one chapter to it on risk management. This book is in Tamil. So it's called Thittamidu Vetri Thodu, means plan and succeed. It's available on Amazon freely. The link of this I will also share with you, either through the YouTube channel or under this YouTube that is going to be recorded, and also with your faculty. Please go to Amazon, free of cost. You can download the e-book, which you can read on Kindle if you have Amazon Prime or Kindle Unlimited membership, free of cost. Even the paid version is 69 rupees for e-book and 300 rupees for the hard copy. So freely you can download from Amazon. Here we have taken up one case study, how to organize sports day in your school. And using this, we explained all the knowledge areas you saw, right? Scope management, risk management, communication management. Each of these we have explained using one simple example in Tamil. So this is very useful for beginners. So with this, I finished my session. It's 11:41. As a project manager, I am happy that I finished. I told you 11:40 I will stop. It's 11:41. I told you 5-year project can end in 5-year 2 months, but it cannot end in 10 years. So 11:40 target, I finished at 11:41. I'm happy. I'm on track. We are on schedule. So I will open up the floor the next 20 minutes for questions. But before that, one quick thing. Again, please visit my YouTube channel, VR_VRTTA, and also PM_VRTTA. The PM_VRTTA is for project management topics. You can, of course, subscribe to that. VRTTA, VR Vritta. That is where I regularly upload videos on complex project management concepts in simple terms. 10-minute, 15-minute video, 30-minute video, like that. At the moment, 3 or 4 videos are there you can visit. So you can view those videos, like those videos, comment on those videos, share that with your friends, colleagues, everyone, and subscribe to the 2 channels, so that if you are subscribed to the 2 channels, you will regularly get, whenever I update a new video, automatically you will get a message. Believe me, project management is not for coat suit people. Project management is for everyone. My kid in 4th standard, I'm teaching him project management. 3rd standard onwards, you can learn project management all the way up to your retirement. So this is what we are trying to do. So thank you very much to KPRIT Biomedical Engineering Department, Dr. Srilata and team, and also for Ms. Divya Bharati and Ms. Swati for coordinating with this with me. Thank you, students, for your patience, for your time, most of all, your interest in this. I wish you all the best in your career. Project management is a very good vehicle with which you can advance your career. So I will close here. The floor is open for questions, and the coordinators, please help me with because I'm not able to see the chat box because my screen is on. So please let me know the questions so I can answer them. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now there are some questions from YouTube chat box. I'll read it out to you, sir.
Yeah.
Do we need an MBA degree in project management?
The simple answer is no. No. The little bit longer answer is it helps to become an MBA, but not because you need to do project management. MBA helps in other ways. See, MBA professional course, it's not about knowledge. What you learn in MBA, it's not just how to say, see, marketing, operations management. You can also learn from books and you can Google it. What you learn in MBA is that sense of professionalism, the environment. You live in this environment when you're learning MBA, you experience it, and you gain lots of practical and world knowledge. But to do project management, no, MBA is not needed. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, even faculty, students, everyone, please feel free to ask. You can also unmute yourself and ask the question if you want. I think on YouTube you can't do that, but yeah.
Sir, I have a question on behalf of students. Our final year students are undergoing project right now. Like we had a different plan when before this pandemic situation, like in February, March, and all, we had a different plan for executing the project. But now the situation is very, very different. Now students are stuck with like they cannot do execute their project. They are stuck until their literature survey part itself. So give an advice on like how can they proceed like on doing themselves, like the project themselves at home project and do it yourself project and all. How they can do on their selves. Can you like elaborate and give some inspiration to the students on in this regard?
Beautiful. Thanks a lot for the question. It's actually an amazing question. Everyone faces this. Even I have been forced indoors. I'm working from home. In fact, I used to go to office once in a while, but now that's also closed because my apartment is currently sealed because of some positive cases. So everyone is facing this. So I will tell you only one thing to motivate you, to inspire you. For example, I will tell you only one thing. Whenever you hear the word crisis, look at what is behind. It's also opportunity. I always say I love risk management topic. I teach risk management both for PMP and also inside my organization to schools, for example. One thing, risk or crisis has two sides. There are two sides to this coin. One is negative side. We call it as threat. There is another thing called opportunity. So in every situation, I'm not talking philosophy. It's a real situation. Every crisis also has a hidden opportunity. So what could be an opportunity? So now, see, you cannot go outside, do your projects. You cannot go outside to the university to learn. You are sitting at home. But you know what? There's a beautiful opportunity. Going forward, this will be the new normal. Imagine some 5, 6, 7 years down the line, when you look back at this time, you will realize during this time, you had quite a lot of additional time. What time do you save traveling to university? What is for a 40-minute lecture, you will have to prepare or you have to travel, or say for a 1-day class, you have to travel 2 or 3 hours. All this time you are saving. And in between classes, you have some time. So use this time to learn new skills. Don't learn only what is needed for your engineering. Learn also what is needed for your career. When I say career, it could be things like software, hardware, and all those things, knowledge. But also learn at various extracurricular things. Learn a new language. Take German language, take Chinese language, French language. Usually when you are going for your schools or for your university, right, time management was very tricky. Now time management is again tricky because you have lots of time. You don't know how to manage your time. So one thing you have to be careful about is the lots of time that you have, how you can plan that. So this is an opportunity for you to learn project management and implement it. Imagine you have 10 hours or 12 hours in a day when you can allot to your studies or whatever. You split this. You professionally, you take a purpose. What do I want to do? Purpose. So my purpose is tomorrow I want to land a job in a software company, in IT, a hardcore, in a core company, for example. Or in my career, I want to be that. This is the time to invest. This golden opportunity, the additional time you have got sitting at home, right, on top of your studies and everything, it is a golden opportunity for you to look at life from a different point of view. See, we are the first in this generation to face this, whatever age group we are in. We never faced this before. So let us adapt to this new normal, plan and very wisely invest our time in learning new things which are needed today for our work or tomorrow for our career, including extracurricular things and managing your project. See, when Corona was not there, you used to go to college and see your friends face to face. Now also through online virtual tools, you can do the same. Only thing is you have to be a bit more professional and organized. Earlier, you can simply call, hey, you know what, just come. I will just, let's meet somewhere outside or in the school we can, or in the college we can do. Now, imagine internet problem, network connectivity, power breakdowns, all these things. You have to actually take care of all this. So you cannot just like that call someone. You have to plan. So is it not an opportunity for you to be a bit more organized in how you work? Other than that, nothing has changed. Believe me, things have only got better because we are locked down. There are lots of restrictions we had in the past, traveling and everything. Without realizing, we were wasting a lot of time. You know, there is something called Parkinson's law. Work fills the time it's available. You get 8 hours to do a work, you will take all the 8 hours. Same work, no additional thing. You get 20 hours, you will still take 20 hours. Somehow work fills the time that you have. Now that can be avoided. You can happily plan your work professionally. Some things like going to buy a PCB outside, like going to the library, such things where you need to go, you will be restricted. You cannot go like that. Small things, but believe me, you will find ways. Humankind, for how many years human beings have been in existence? For millions of years, right? How did we succeed? By evolving. And what is the meaning of evolution? You are living in an environment, you face threat to your existence, and you don't die. Instead, you basically adapt yourself. Survival of the fittest. If we never evolved, we would have died as worms or amoeba or small frogs. We would not have become this complex organism that human beings are. So we are capable of that. So this corona period is one such similar thing. You will face constraints. You cannot move out easily. You will have some problems connecting online and everything to do your project, to do your classes. Even as teachers, faculty, you will have. But imagine, this is part of our evolution. This is an opportunity. At the beginning, I was also feeling bad about not being able to go to office. Of course, I still miss meeting my team members face to face. But you know what? We have found newer ways to keep connected. And more importantly, we have realized this is a real connection. Earlier days, we met every day, so we never knew the value of people, value of time, value of our company. Today, we know the value of people, value of communication. We should thank Corona for it. So this is the advice I will, or inspiration, whatever you want. This is what I will give to both teachers and students alike. Hope this helps. Yeah.
Yes, sir. We have another question from the YouTube chat box.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of department can I lead if I'm an expert in project management?
Everything. Project management is industry independent. Project management is domain independent. Project management is role independent. That's what I told you. At any level, you can manage projects. One simple example, you join academia, for example, or take industry is very easy to explain because project managers are found usually in companies. So I will not give that example. I will give you other examples where you cannot even imagine project managers are existing. Then you will understand. Take academia. Imagine on day one you join as a faculty, you join as a junior professor. It may be different from one college to another. Junior professor. But are you doing project management? Yes. You prepare lectures, you prepare notes, you prepare activities, you prepare assignments, you prepare exams, you rate the exams. All these things need you to define what you have to do. That is scope. You have a timeline within which you have to do this, filing the reports also with your HOD. There is a time limit, that is schedule. You have a budget. Budget means, see, only department heads handle budget, but here it is in terms of time. You have quality. Imagine if your presentation earlier in Corona, before Corona, your presentation was mostly for face to face. Now you need to engage students better because you're not seeing them face to face. So your presentation quality has to be slightly different. You cannot prepare with the same quality you did earlier. You have to engage people. Quality management, risk management. What if during my lecture power cut happens? I told you at the beginning, right? I may lose power cut. I may lose power. I may lose connectivity. It didn't happen, thankfully, so far. Touch wood. But that is risk management. So all these things you do on day one when you join a job. As a junior software development engineer, as a junior professor, even in the hospitals, you join as a house intern. During your MBBS, last year you do house internship. Even that time. And slowly after some time, you become a senior professor, you become an associate professor, or from lecturer, you become an associate professor, and then you become a department head. See, project management is there at all levels. How much you handle, how much you have to monitor and control, how much you have to deliver, that differs. Your scope of control, span of control changes as you grow. So technically, project management is not about one department or one area of work, one domain. It's there everywhere. Doctors also, you join as house intern, then you become a junior doctor, then you become a specialist, then a senior doctor, then you become the head of department of surgery, head of department for plastic surgery. You do not only surgeries. Of course, you will go to the operation theater, you do surgery. But more importantly, all these doctors, specialists report to you, right? Now, Head of department, Dr. Srilata, is there. She's also taking classes, I believe. She's also sometimes preparing notes. She's also rating exams. She's also doing the same thing that a junior lecturer on day one is doing. She's even doing today some things. But she also has more responsibilities. She has to handle the budget of the department, strategize. You remember the word strategize? So all these things. So as you grow in your career, you will get more responsibilities. That's the only thing that changes. But project management is there everywhere. Hope this answers, right?
Thank you, sir. I have another question, sir.
Mm-hmm.
What, according
Yeah.
to you, is an important skill for a project manager to succeed, sir?
I'll tell you, first is communication. Second is confidence. Third is common sense. The three C's. Yeah, or it will come in a different order. First, confidence. Because project management means working with unexpected situations, working within constraints, working with risks, uncertainties. There'll be lots of people ready to kill you. You cannot complain. There'll be no one to even support you. You are alone, but you have to come out and succeed. That means you will need lots of confidence. Second thing, communication. Communication, if I have to say, Bhuvan, what is the only skill that is needed? Communication. 90% of your job as a project manager is communicating down, means to your team, communicating up to your managers, communicating side with your peers, communicating inside your organization, communicating outside with your customers, all around 360 degrees in three dimensions. And common sense third is common sense, because you will learn a lot of uh, say, one moment guys, one moment. Sorry, there were quite a lot of noise in the back end. I'm sorry. So you will learn a lot of PMI, PMBOK, all these super knowledge areas, process groups, everything. At the end of the day, when a situation is staring at your face, you will forget everything. You will not go and refer PMBOK. What helps you is common sense. The rules, the policies, the guidelines will tell you something, but it is you at the end of the day who is facing the situation. Common sense helps. So confidence, communication, common sense, three major things for a project manager. Yeah.
Yes, sir. The next question. How important is it for a project manager to be proactive, sir?
Very important, and there is no other option. You have to be proactive. You don't wait for a situation to come and then let me see. You have to always keep sensing. You imagine you have an antenna in your head, like a radar, right? Air traffic control, ATC, radar always rotating. You must have an antenna inside your head, always rotating everywhere, sensing, sniffing things, so that you see things before they happen and you prepare yourself. You may not be able to execute the plan immediately, but you should be ready with a plan. So proactiveness, there is not even a discussion on it. You must be proactive, because situations will happen in a project which you will never know, and you cannot complain. You cannot say, I did not know this before. Of course, out of every 10 things, 2 or 3 things you could not have foreseen, it's okay. But when it comes, you will handle. But as a rule, generally, being proactive is one of the essential expectations from a project manager. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. There's a question from HOD, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
As faculties, do we have any benefits in doing PMP? Can we have some insight into a current project you're working on?
Definitely, definitely. Two different questions. So, first thing, yes, very much, ma'am. In fact, I'll tell you, in Coimbatore, already from PMI Chennai Chapter, we are working with 3 or 4 universities already. At least 2 of those universities have come to us, and we have taken PMP sessions, and they have head of departments, I'm saying. Head of department with key faculty members. They have come to our courses. They're prepared for PMP. They're ready to write the exam, but they're prepared. So PMP, yes, it helps a lot. Of course, you may not, the certificate per se, you may say, I will not be able to use the certificate, unlike in an industry, but the knowledge you are getting from it, the practices, the experience, that's very important. So in our sessions, you learn not only the PMBOK standard, you also get industry expertise, because the trainers, whatever we do, right, including me, I'm a trainer myself, we not only teach what is there in the standard, we share our experience, which is also usable for everyone. So yes, as head of department, as faculty, PMP will be very much useful to you, because PMP talks of the global industry standard, the golden standard of project management. It also talks of practical tools and tips, and the PMP training gives you, through the trainers, it gives you our own personalized experience. This will help a lot. The second part, insight into my project. Well, as I told you, I'm a I'm a program manager, and a program is a collection of projects, as I told you. So I have been in Bosch for the last 6.5 years. So till recently, I was managing as engineering manager for automotive steering projects. Last 2 months, I'm a program manager. I manage projects in electrical power steering, automotive steering for European Union projects. I'm not at liberty to disclose the customer, but it is for European Union premier customer, automobile manufacturer. So program management means I am responsible for the complete end-to-end development of hardware, software, mechanical engineering, plant interfacing, purchase, sales, quality, everything. Anything you talk about the project, it is. So, and liaising with multiple departments, with the production line, assembly line, everything. All these things I do in my role. And the project is basically to develop electrical power steering for a European Union automobile manufacturer, end to end. So that's what I'm doing, and these are some of the things I do in my current role. Hope this helps.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Thank you so much for
Yes.
an informative session, sir.
Welcome. Yep.
Now I request our coordinator, Ms. Divya Bharati, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thanks, ma'am. And you can all contact me also at these places I've given you. My LinkedIn profile is here, my email addresses and my phone numbers. So please feel free to connect with me in case you have any queries or you need some support anytime. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Sure, sir.
Respected and our most distinguished chief guest of the day, Dr. Bhuvana Sundar, respected head of the department biomedical engineering, KPRIET, honorable faculty members, and my dear student friends. During Digital Ignitron, we have conducted a range of events. On behalf of Department of Biomedical Engineering, we are conducting 5 different technical and non-technical events as a part of Digital Ignitron on July 22nd and July 23rd of 2020. We have received a total of 660 registrations, and the webinar has 450 registrations in particular. So I deem it a very great honor to propose a vote of thanks to all who have helped us in making this webinar such a resounding success. First of all, I would like to propose vote of thanks to our speaker, Mr. Bhuvana Sundar, for gracing today's webinar. Thank you so much, sir, for your insights and delivering us the nuances on corporate project management, which we had no idea about before. I'm very sure we will try incorporating these inputs when we plan a project hereafter. So this session was very interesting and thought-provoking, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Next, I would like to thank our chairman, Dr. KP Ramasamy, for supporting us in all our endeavors. I would also like to express our profound gratitude to our principal, Dr. M. Akila, for her constant support. I would also like to thank our beloved Chief Executive, Dr. A. M. Nadarajan, for his support and guidance. I am very happy to express my vote of thanks to Dr. P. Srilata, Head of the Department, and all the faculty and student friends of Department of Biomedical Engineering who have made this webinar a grand success. Last but not least, I thank all the participants for your patience, and I wish each and everyone here and their families good health and strength in these tough times. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you very much, sir, for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, ma'am. And thanks to everyone for patiently listening to me. Thanks a lot. And all the best to everyone. And stay safe.
Thank you, ma'am. I hope the webinar was very useful in developing your knowledge on managing work. I thank the participants for the cooperation throughout the session and hoping to see you in the future events conducted by our department. The feedback link will be posted in the chat box and you'll have 45 minutes to fill the form. We expect your patience as it would take 3 days for the certificate to be generated. Thank you all. Stay home, stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot.